What's cracking like? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So we're back again, once again with another video. This time we're going to tackle free agency. Free agency has begun, kind of. I mean, these deals aren't official until Wednesday, but today started the tampering period, so a lot of verbal agreements have been reached. So we're going to take a look at each team. I'm going to give you grades on how I think they did on day one of free agency, so to speak. And yeah, if you enjoy the content, go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up if you enjoy the content, and let me know what you think in the comments section below. Let's go ahead, let's get into it. We're going to be using tier makers, just the easiest graphic wise, but we're going to go through each signing and whatnot, and how we feel the team did. I got A, B, C, and D. C is average. If I think it is what it is, it's all right. It's a neutral move. D is if I just it's below average if I didn't like it. I got NA down there. They didn't really do much to really improve or not, or they didn't do any moves, or maybe they are cap strung and they couldn't do any moves. So I left that open there. So also you'll see code BROSHMO. If you're into the NFL draft, check out Walk the Mock. It's a live draft simulator that allows you to draft with other users in real time. We do it on our live streams. You gotta be a premium member to take part, and like I said, on the live streams you're gonna be drafting against the likes of me and some of the other viewers. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead, become a premium member there. Use the code BROSHMO. It's all caps, uppercase. Gets you 20% off whether you want to do a monthly or a year membership. And check out our live streams. It's a lot of fun. We have a great time. So let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty. We're going to start with the Arizona Cardinals. I believe they're right down here. We're going to start them right here, but let's go over what they're doing. So JJ Watt deal, I liked it a lot. 2 years, $28 million, 23 of it's guaranteed. They really did need to improve on the interior there. It would be nice. I think they might kind of focus a new nose tackle there with Corey Peters, now a free agent, but I think bringing in someone to help the pass rush, not just from the outside, because they did lose, or at least it's assumed they're going to be losing Hassan Reddick, but they get Chandler Jones back. They did bring in Marcus Golden on a 2-year deal, which I think that's fine, and I think they threw a second round tender on who was the cat that they had, oh gosh, I'm blanking. He had like only like 100 some snaps this year, and he like produced like 7 sacks. It was okay, Gardeck. Okay, yeah, he had less than 100 snaps and ended up with 7 sacks, 18 pressures. So it's like that's a nice rotation piece there. Maybe even give him more time. Maybe you got a star in the making. So overall, I think they did what they could do. I'd like to see them maybe go out and try to get a receiver that could help them vertically, but I thought it was a solid enough move. I'm going to give it a B. Like I said, it's a solid enough move. Some people will be like, oh man, that JJ Watt deal should be an A, but I mean, you know what it should be. I think I'm going to move them to A now. I like what they've done with the pass rush. Yes, they do have holes, but they don't have, I think, enough cap space to really impact, maybe they have to find those budget-friendly deals that get them maybe a more vertical threat, maybe to help the secondary along too, because really they're only bringing back Byron Murphy, who mainly played in the slot there. So a lot of this is going to happen through the draft for the Cardinals, but I think they did good enough. They got a big splash in free agency there. The Atlanta Falcons didn't do much, so nor do they have a lot of cap space. I'm just going to put them at NA. So yeah, they didn't do anything to get worse. I mean, they're gonna have to do something with the secondary, but I think a lot of what they're gonna have to do is through the draft. Unfortunately, it's just the way that it is. There are a lot of good, I think there's a lot of good slot options still out there for them if they want to go out and get that, address that, which I think they still may do, like a Brian Poole or someone. Would be a real nice addition. I don't think they're gonna be able to hit on like a William Jackson or a Shaquille Griffin. I think Shaquille Griffin's close to a deal with the Browns. but they do need to address that secondary. Secondary needs a lot of help. So Baltimore Ravens, they only made one move, but it was a pretty darn good move. I'm gonna put them up here. They got Kevin Zeitler. Okay, let's be honest. The run game's kind of the cash cow here. That's what their offense is predicated on, and grabbing a guy like Zeitler really improves that interior that kind of was a bit underwhelming at times. And this guy, I know he's a bit up. He's getting up there, but man, I think they really got a good deal on him. 3 years, $22.5 million. I like it. I do think that they're going to probably address pass rush in the draft. At least that's what I'm assuming. But with what they could do, I thought this was a very good pick. And then the Buffalo Bills, just looking over, they didn't really. What they did was they retained a lot of their talent, and I like that. I'm gonna put them in A2. I'm feeling really generous right now. But being able to bring back Darrell Williams on a pretty good deal, 3 years, $24 million, I thought was great. I didn't think they were going to be able to bring back Matt Milano, but they did, and I thought it was an okay deal. And then John Falicano, who he really helps out as a run blocker, could be better as a pass protector. It is what it is. He's still a good contributor on the offensive line. So now they could really just focus that right guard position, which, I mean, Falicano, he can move to right guard as well. So I really think that they might eye someone like Elijah Vera Tucker in the draft. But this is making assumptions. They could go in a variety of different ways here. The Carolina Panthers. Okay, now I'm going to stop being kind here. I'm giving them D, man. They had some space to work with, and they pulled out Pat Elflein, who has been just bad since his rookie season. Like, his best year was at center, and since moving to guard, it's just been terrible. You got Matt Paredes there, who's much better. So, you're going to try him at guard again? I thought it was poor. And then, I mean, Cam Irvin, he's a solid enough, I think, reserve. He's not a starter. So I wasn't really impressed with what the Panthers did on day one of free agency. And then the Chicago Bears. I think it's a win just not bringing Mitch Trubisky back. Good job, Bears fans. But they also decided to bring back Mario Edwards, which I think is he's a solid piece to their offensive line, or defensive line, excuse me. So I thought it was a fine move. It was, what is it, only 3 years, almost $12 million. I thought it was good. So I'll put them B. I was happy enough. I'd like to see them. I mean, it's really hard because what they need to do is at the quarterback position. They're not going to be able to do it through free agency, especially with the top quarterback free agents off the board and Fitzpatrick and Cam Newton. So it's going to have to be through a trade. I don't know how they're going to work that. So good luck, Bears fans. You might be stuck with Foles for another year. Maybe they try to move up in the draft. It'll be interesting to see. And then the Cincinnati Bengals, man, this one's tough for me, man. I think I'm gonna put them at a D. Like, honestly, like, it's sad, dude. It's sad. I don't mind. I kind of like. I like going after Trey Hendrickson. I thought they overpaid a bit for him. I mean, I feel like, hey, if you were gonna spend that, just keep Carl Lawson. But I really expected them to make a big push at Joe Thuney, and he just went away. He went away. Thought the Cincinnati kid was coming back home, but ended up not being the case. I really wish they were more active in free agency, especially along the offensive line, because even if they draft well, like, you can't anticipate rookies to make those immediate impacts. So it's, for me, it's real troublesome, especially with Burrow after having to hang behind the line he did last year. To expect that to get better just because you draft well with rookies, like, it's asking for a lot. The Cleveland Browns really only made one move, but it was one banger move, dude. John Johnson coming to Cleveland and on a great deal. I thought he could have got way more than this. It was only 3 years, $33.8 million. Phenomenal. He can play free. He was probably the top safety available, him and Anthony Harris. And I thought actually they would probably go for Harris just because the familiarity that Stefanski has with Harris. But no, I love John Johnson. He deserved to get a good payday. I mean, this was good, but boy, what a bargain, man. I love it. Now I feel like they could kind of focus other areas of their defense if they want. They could like a lot of people. I think it's anticipated that they go edge in the draft, especially with so many quality, at least guys with a lot of elite tools. Not necessarily the production, but a lot of those elite tool guys in this draft. Like, I think they will go for it in the first 2 rounds, because typically after round 2, you're not gonna get those guys. Typically, you gotta find those type of guys early in the draft. It's kind of hard to find it late at the edge position, but I really like that move. I thought it was pretty good. The Dallas Cowboys couldn't really do much. So I mean, it's hard to grade. I mean, they franchised Dak. They did what they should have done. I guess it's easy. Maybe just put it at B here. I mean, locking Dak up. It was necessary at this point. Go with what you know rather than going with the unknown. They weren't in a good position in the draft to really get anybody. So it'll be interesting what guys they bring in to kind of fill out their secondary, because they're going to have to do that. So with guys like Keanu Neal, sounds like they're talking to Kazi from the Falcons. So 2 Falcon guys there. Even a Malik Hooker still out there. I think they can make some moves, get some budget guys on good prices there that can actually still improve the secondary. So I thought what they did was pretty adequate. The Denver Broncos, I actually really liked their moves today. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna give them a. Like I said, I'm feeling generous today. I'm gonna give them an A. Bringing back Shelby Harris, I thought was pretty vital, but the Ronald Darby sign-in I thought was great. I think he's a good scheme fit. If he could stay healthy, I think he immediately improves that secondary, and you're not relying on young guys like Michael. Was it Omudia? Omudia? Something like Ojumudia. There we go. Who had a rough rookie year, but I mean, that was to be expected. You're a 3rd round pick. So I like this. I like this pick a lot. Now, what happens at quarterback? They may stick with Drew Lock. They like Drew Lock in Denver. The Detroit Lions, they didn't really have the space to make a lot of moves, and they brought back Romeo Okwara, which I thought they should have franchise tagged him. I'm gonna give him a C for this. Not because of Okwara. I think instead, like, he's coming out a breakout year. I say give him put him on the franchise tag. Make it like a prove it type of situation. Instead, you give him 3 years, $39 million. I mean, it might end up working out. This might end up being a lot better than you think. And like, it's just like, I would have franchise tagged him. It would have allowed you to make other moves in free agency. Now they kind of can't. So for me, it just falls average. And then the Green Bay Packers, man, they're getting a D. I know people love Aaron Jones. People love running backs. Aaron Jones is great. What's the point of drafting A.J. Dillon? What was the point if you were going to pay Aaron Jones all this money? You let Corey Lindsey walk. You ain't going to make any moves at wide receiver. You're not going to do anything in defense. Like, I don't know, man. Just for me, it was real lackluster. Even putting Jones on the franchise tag, much cheaper alternative. You've been paying like $9 million, or I think it was like $8.5 million compared to the $12 million they're going to have to pay. So I didn't love the move. I don't think this makes them, I mean, it doesn't make them better. They're now without Corey Lindsey. The Houston Texans, they had a very interesting free agency because they were active. They brought in Mark Ingram. They even cut and then re-signed Duke Johnson, which I think those are fine. I mean, they're cheap deals, so all right, that's cool. Brought Andre Roberts in, who's really going to just be a special teamer. But I mean, they're paying him cheap. They didn't really. They're not signed. I don't think they had a deal longer than 2 years after their signings. Malik Collins, who he's kind of so. He's on a 1-year deal. I really loved the Kevin Pierre-Louis though. Pickup because of them trading McKinney, which they brought in Lawson, who he's kind of a fine pick. It is, I guess it is what it is. He got a lot of his pressure on the inside. I think a 3-4 defense is kind of up his alley. I don't think he really he's not going to be a great passer, assuming they're going to a 4-3 under Lovie Smith. But I really like Pierre-Louis, and I thought that was actually an excellent pick. So, I mean, a lot of what they did in free agency it was okay. Outside of the Kevin Pierre-Louis, again, I think it's just average. I mean, I guess getting Marcus Cannon was pretty solid. Now they're probably going to move Titus Howard into guard. So that one was pretty good. But, I mean, again, it only matters if Watson plays for you next year, right? It only matters if he wants to play with y'all next year. The Indianapolis Colts, they are actually working on a bunch, trying to re-sign Rhodes. They're trying to restructure some deals and work out some extensions on on Darius Leonard and such. So not much to say here. So I'm just gonna put them in NA. So not really making moves. The Jacksonville Jaguars. God bless your soul. Jacksonville. So they brought in Roy Robertson Harris, who they paid him a lot. 3 years, $24.4 million. To kind of, I guess, be that D end in that 3-4 that they're going to start running. But, that's a lot of money for a guy that kind of, he was undrafted. He's kind of been in and out of the lineup, injuries and such. He's fine, but I thought they paid a lot for him. Jamal Agnew, he just became a wide receiver last year after being a corner. He's a special teamer. That's what he is. 3 years, $21 million. It really depends on what the guarantee money is. I haven't seen the details on the contract, but that's just such a bad deal. I like them bringing back Smoot, who probably will play more on the interior line. He's not going to be so much as a edge rusher, like Allen, Chase on. I assume that's where they're going to utilize him. 2 years, $14 million. I thought that was fine. They brought Carlos Hyde. That's okay, I guess. I mean, is he much different than James Robinson? Why not go out and get, someone that kind of opens up the passing game? So, for the most part, I don't know. It was pretty underwhelming. With all the cap space in the world, these were very underwhelming moves. So I'm going to put them in a D tier. And then we're going to go to the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know how they have the money. I don't know what they're doing. I don't even know how cap space works anymore. After the Saints, apparently it's mad easy to get, we're $70 million over the cap. We'll be fine. It's just wild. But they brought in Joe Thuney. That's amazing. That's one big step after. And they're getting a lot of guys back. Because keep in mind that offensive line going to the Super Bowl was not healthy. I mean, they ended up cutting Mitchell Schwartz. They cut Eric Fisher. Mike Remmers is a free agent. They really only have Lucas Nain coming in as their right tackle. I assume right tackle. Maybe he plays left. So I think they're going to be active in the draft. But yeah, that's just a banger pickup. I mean, I don't know what this means for the future in terms of how much money they'll have to spend in free agency or retain some of their guys. But I liked it a lot. As of now, I like it a lot. It's one big step to really help in Patrick Mahomes. And then the Las Vegas Raiders, they made really one big move. I'm still waiting to see what they do with safety, but I like that they got Yannick Ngakoue, 2 years, $26 million. They really, with Gus Bradley's scheme, they don't blitz almost ever. So they're going to really rely on pressure from their front four. Bring Yannick, that's literally his MO. He is not much of a run stopper, but that dude is a pass rusher. He's one of the better speed rushers in the NFL. I liked it a lot. So for now, I mean, I guess that's an A, man. That was a pretty quality pickup. It'll be interesting to see what other moves they make. Maybe they get an Anthony Harris. So they really need to help address that secondary. and maybe even the offensive line. Maybe they bring back. I think they're bringing back Incognito on a cheaper deal. I don't know. We'll see, but yeah. I think that was definitely an A move. Oh man, the Chargers. Corey Lindsey. Oh, what a deal! What a deal! Because I think a lot of it's front loaded. Amazing. They're really trying to improve their offensive line. I think now they don't necessarily have to take a tackle with their pick, whether it's like a Darius or a Slater, but I think they could and they should. But because now you got Balaga, right? You got Lindsey. They're playing center. They brought in Matt Flyer, who could play tackle, but he's probably going to end up being a guard, which you like that position versatility. So I like them bringing him in. They retained Mike Davis, which they did end up releasing Casey Hayward, which is kind of wild. They don't really see him as a good scheme fit for the defense, but I think maybe they could even focus corner early. It'll be interesting to see what other moves, but I like what they've done. So I'm especially addressing the offensive line. I'll put that in A tier. I think it was pretty good thus far. Oh, Los Angeles Rams, man. Leonard Floyd, listen, he just had a career year. I get it. You're already you're pretty strung on your cap. You ain't got much cap. You're actually way above the cap. And they make a deal 4 years, $64 million for Leonard Floyd. Man, I really hope it works out. Like, he was fine, but who isn't good when you have Aaron Donald? I don't know. I don't like the move. I think when more's released about the details of the contract, maybe it'll leave a better taste in my mouth. But I was ready to put the Rams just in NA, and then that came out. I was like, come on. Ugh. The Miami Dolphins, they've been more so trading guys away, releasing Kyle Van Noy. Then they got rid of Shaq Lawson, another free agent pickup they had. They lost Devin Gacho, which not necessarily a big hit. Their interior actually played reasonably well. Raekwon Davis was a really good addition. But outside of that, they haven't really done anything. I think they were trying to re-sign, is it Beagle? So I'm going to just put them at NA for now. I do want to see them make some moves. They have cap space. I want to see them do something. So, and a lot of the free agent receivers are still out there, still available. So maybe when we come back here on day 2 of free agency, they will actually be graded somewhere. And then the Minnesota Vikings, they made a couple of moves. They brought in Nick, Vigil, who's fine. He's more of a depth piece, but I like them getting Dalvin Tomlinson. Solid, very solid. Yeah, we're gonna add him to this. Whoop. Yeah, we're gonna add him to A tier. So A tier is getting a little bigger here, but it was a good move. They didn't have much cap to work with, I believe, anyway. But solid. It's a 2-year, $22 million, so great price. Him and Michael Pierce are gonna be fearsome. Suddenly, okay, they don't have to get Christian Barmore with the 14th pick. Maybe they get an offensive tackle. So I think it opens up a lot of moves that they can do, and it instantly improves their line. Hopefully, the rumors of Daniel Hunter not being satisfied with his contract, hopefully there's not much truth to that, but that's yet to be seen. The New England Patriots, man, oh my gosh, these guys spent, and they spent a lot. I like the Cam Newton deal because it's 1 year, $5 million with there's a ton of incentives, which it could go up to $14 million. So I like that, and I like that they tried surrounding him with talent. Jonnu Smith, it might be a bit much. I think he's getting paid like $14 million a year, so it makes him like one of, if not the most highly paid tight end at the position. I mean, when healthy, phenomenal. So I like that. I like that they also decided to bring in a guy like Kendrick Bourne. He's very, very interesting. He's a very good complementary receiver. So you got him, and honestly, I think you could plop him in the slot. You could plop him outside, really. Nelson Aguilar, they gave him a lot of money. I don't know about that. I know he was a bit of a surprise last year, but, I mean, he stretches the field vertically. Can Cam still get it downfield? I think so. I'm not in love with that deal. Especially and the Jalen Mills deal. I don't get it. They got Patrick Chung. They got Adrian Phillips. They drafted Kyle Duggar, who I think serves the same role. So that one was a bit of a head scratcher for me. Matthew Judon, I think this is a great place for him to be. They're giving him a lot of money, so I like that they went out. I like that they're being aggressive in free agency, even if I don't like some of the deals. It's more than I could say for the Bengals. Devon Gacho, he's a 2-year, $16 million. They brought back Wise, so that defense, it's looking pretty darn good. Again, I mean, it wasn't bad by any means last year, but I really like that they really try to focus on grabbing some playmakers. They also brought in Henry Anderson on a pretty solid deal, 2 years, $7 million. They had the whole Trent Brown trade, also the Marcus Cannon trade. I like them being so ferocious in free agency, and I may not love all the deals, but I think it's worthy of a B tier at this point. So now we all know for sure they're probably trading down, right? That 15 pick. I mean, it's borderline A, really is. But I'm just not in love with a ton of the contracts. A lot of spending. New Orleans Saints, they re-signed James Hurst to a reasonable deal. Like I said, these guys got somehow under the cap, so they were. And we also the whole wonky Taysom Hill deal, man. I'm just saying, Cap Masters, man, they know what they're doing. But I like them bringing Jameis Winston back. It's a similar deal to Cam Newton. I think it's 1 year, $5 million or $4 million initially, and then it could be up to $12 million. I like it. There's a plan at quarterback. I think this is a good move in the right direction. And then next year they can somehow figure out how to retain like Ryan Ramczyk, Marcus Williams, Marshawn Lattimore, guys like that. So it'll be interesting nonetheless, but I think they've made a lot of the right moves this free agency. So it's hard not to say A. Like, I think this team's still going to be in it for the playoffs. Minus Drew Brees, I think it'll be fine. It'll be interesting to see how, like, I like the 1 year deal for Winston. I might be a competition there at quarterback, so we'll see. New York Giants, they've been relatively quiet. I haven't seen any movement from them outside of Booker, Devontae Booker, the running back. He's kind of been a journeyman last couple of seasons with the Broncos and the Raiders. It's fine, but I think I'm just going to put it NA. I don't think they have much cap room to make a big splash. So a lot of what they do is going to be through the draft. I've heard rumors of Kenny Golladay, though. Might be one of the guys they try to go out and get. So, again, a lot of those receivers have yet to be touched yet. So it'll be interesting to see what they do from there. I really love what the Jets have done. And as a Dolphins fan, that really pains me. But the Jarrad Davis deal, I was like, they signed Jarrad Davis. Oh, man, 1 year, $7 million. Okay, it's kind of a proven deal. The dude's extremely athletic. You got the cap space. I think it's worth a shot. Corey Davis, I thought it was a quality deal. It's 3 years. So they're giving whoever's going to be a quarterback. It's yet to be seen. They were shopping Sam Darnold, a couple of weeks ago, and now they're doing it with C.J. Mosley, which I guess kind of prompts the Davis deal. But I really loved the Carl Lawson deal. Like, he is a Robert Saleh guy through and through. I like that I knew that they were going to be aggressive. I just didn't really know which edge rusher that they might go. I was thinking maybe Matt Judon. I love that because I expected Carl Lawson to get a franchise tag. Good job on you, Bengals, man. You can't even bring. What about William Jackson? Did the Bengals get Mike Hilton though? I can't remember. I might be wrong about that. I think they pulled in Mike Hilton. Again, a lot of this is news is like still coming in. It's wild. The Philadelphia Eagles, they haven't really been able to do anything. They're going to be down here at NA. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they were able to retain Cameron Sutton. I'm glad because Mike Hilton, I know he's okay. I got to see where did Mike Hilton go? Because I think that was the last bit of news that came out. Bengals. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. Bengals. Okay. So they had to keep Sutton. He can play in the slot. He's got a bit of positional versatility to him, and he's actually been one of their better players over the last few years. So I like them retaining. They can't do much in free agency, but I think that was one move that they had to make. So if they were able to bring Matt Flyer, I think I would have liked that as well. So I'm gonna just put him in B. I almost want to just throw him in NA. Yeah, let's throw him in NA. Yeah, we'll just stick him there. I think it's fine. That was a move that they, I guess, kind of expected to make. The San Francisco 49ers, they've done a ton of stuff too I've liked today. Kyle Juszczyk, I mean, he is a vital part to their offense, so it makes sense to get him good money. So 5 years, $27 million. The Jason Verrett deal, I don't know how they worked that. Amazing, good on y'all. 1 year, $5.5 million. I heard he was getting multi-year deal or multi-year offers from other places. So being able to retain him, Manuel Mosley, I thought was really key. The Samson, was it Ibukem deal is kind of a head scratcher. I mean, he hasn't missed a game throughout his career. So it's like, okay, maybe at least you got some health there, but they restructured D Ford's contract. They love their defensive linemen. That's just them. They're working trying to get Trent Williams back. So we might see that in the next couple of days. So I'm going to put them up here. I'm going to put them B. If they could bring back Trent Williams, it'll be an A. I think they've done a good job of retaining some of their guys, especially the secondary. That was kind of the corner position. That was a big concern. Seahawks haven't really been able to do anything, so they're just NA. They're trying to retain Shaquille Griffin, but again, news out there that the Browns are really trying to get at him. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man, you got to give them an A. Yeah, they just retained their guys, but they're quality guys that they retained. Levante David coming back on a nice deal, 2 years, $25 million. The franchise tag to Godwin, who was like, yeah, I'll play under a franchise tag. Let's run it back. Shaquille Barrett, 4 years, $68 million, and it's worked out. So, like, the deal's worked out, so it won't hit the cap too hard next year. Gronk, he's back 1 year, $10 million. Yeah, man, it's literally just run it back. Wild. The Tennessee Titans, they've made moves. I like the Denico Autry pickup, so he's probably going to come in and play like the 3-4 DN there with Jeffrey Simmons, and they still got to figure out the nose situation with Daquan Jones, being a free agent. I think they paid a lot for Bud Dupree, though. Kind of disgusting. Like, this is a guy, over the last 2 seasons, he's really benefited from playing opposite of TJ Watt. He's been put into, like, he's hardly had to ever see a double team, and he slows down, like, the stretch. Like, it's been like that last couple of seasons. Like, he starts off red hot, and then just, like, the later half of the season is just, it's just not the same, you know? So I'm not in love. 5 years, $82.5 million. I guess it's like, hey, we solved our pass rush issue. Hopefully, we'll see. But I do like the Autry pickup. So I guess I'm in between here. I'll give it a C, average. Don't take C as a negative connotation. Just means I'm not in love with it, but I don't hate it. If you're in the D tier, then I hate what you're doing. And then finally, the Washington football team. This is what the tier maker had. If you're offended by the logo, my bad. But they brought in Ryan Fitz magic, dude. That's a great move. That's a great move. They decided to let Alex Smith, or they released him. I think bringing in Fitz magic, it makes your team's gonna be competitive. Terry McLaurin, he's gonna see a lot, and I mean, Heineke could be a competition going into camp. So it's gonna be very interesting. If anything, I think this was a great move by Washington. I think this wasn't the move I anticipated, because I had Cam going to Washington and I had Fitz magic going to the Patriots, and it's actually vice versa. It wasn't even a predictions video. It's just what I was like hearing on the rumor mill. But I'm gonna put that in B. So I think that's kind of how it is. Here, I'm gonna move my webcam so you can see. I got the Seahawks down there, so that's what's behind me, and then you also got the Steelers right here. So actually here, I'm gonna make it smaller. All right, so you can kind of see the whole thing. So yeah, I mean, I was happy with a lot of the moves. Like, again, like if it's C tier, it's not because I hate the move. It's just I don't feel any which way about it. Like, D tier, absolutely hate it. I think these guys have botched free agency thus far, at least in our first day. And then these, again, not in love. The Bears, the big thing I want to, like, Allen Robinson, he's not even talking. He says he's not going to sign the franchise tag. I can't wait to see that tag and trade, baby. Can't wait. Trent Williams kind of going to be key here. The Patriots, they spend it a lot. Dallas, they made the move they needed to, but I liked a lot for the most part. I liked a lot of what I saw in free agency, so I think I was very positive for the most part. And then, of course, these guys, again, you know, they can't really do anything. But again, we'll be back here again tomorrow with day 2 of free agency, so hang with me there. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.